I'm really proud. You're good, Tim? Really proud of this group. That was the toughness game right there, and we talked a lot about it this week. We've been a tough, resilient team all year long, and we went out to Brookings a month ago, and we got out toughed in some stretches. And they pulled away and out tough, not just rebounding where they had 25 second chance points, but toughness in terms of, we're looking for some foul calls and stuff wasn't happening. And after watching the video, we came back and said, we're begging for this stuff. This is because we weren't the aggressor. We weren't the attacking team. And that was an emphasis for us all week long, as well as, fixing some of our gaps, some of our ball screen defense. And trying to make DeAndre Parks and George Marshall more inefficient. The guys did a nice job on DeAndre, but George is a good player, and it's hard. I mean, they're well coached. They put you in difficult positions. Obviously shooting 57% in the first half. That's not going to beat South Dakota State very often, but our guys really dug in and held them to the low 40s in the second half. And really smashed the glass. Ultimately won the free throw war too, but really proud. And again, it's different guys stepping up every night, and we've won games in so many different ways. We didn't have great flow offensively. I'll give credit to South Dakota State on some of that. Some of that we just gotta watch some video and get a little bit better in some areas and get back to moving the ball, getting the ball happy, and playing faster. But it's nice when you can, win a game where, Max doesn't have to shoot 70% from the floor, and different guys step up. And Jon Conchar was absolutely phenomenal tonight. And I could go down the line, but John, we gave him the ball in space a number of times and just said, go get a ball, go get a basket. And when you have a freshman who can do that and get to the rim, and then, just tough rebounds like that. When we had to go undersized, just rising above the rim, picking up some balls off the rim, that was phenomenal. And, also I'll finish with my statement with this. Racine Tala came in, hasn't played a ton of minutes recently, but we did not have great flow to begin the game. They were clicking on all cylinders. We found ourselves in a big hole again. I'm disappointed. I saw a little bit of chippiness for a team that really, you never see it. And Racine came in and just changed the game on the glass. And that's phenomenal to see. He can really do that, and proud of him and excited for him and hoping to see him continue to grow there. Any questions?
Coach, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. He was 0 for 1 tonight, but that was like the most impressive 0 for 1 game I think I've seen in a long time. Just talk about what you've seen from him in practice, and was there any indication that you thought Racine was capable of doing, of impacting the game to this degree?
Absolutely. That's my expectation. I tell him all the time, I have more confidence in you than you have in yourself. Whether it's shooting the basketball, whether it's defending, whether it's changing the game on the glass, or blocking shots. He can really impact the game. And it's been a tough adjustment. It's 2 years, two basically redshirt years, and so there's some flow. He had an injury mid-year, and being part of a team, there's growth with all of our newcomers in terms of just giving yourself to the team and the unselfish play and making your teammates better. And he's really done a nice job over the last couple weeks of just totally focusing in on the team, and it's just lifted his spirits. And when you have great spirits, you got a smile on your face, you're engaged in the game, you're sitting on the edge of your seat, ready to go in, you go in, and guess what? You play well. No surprises. We tell the guys that all the time, and Ray saw it today. And he played phenomenally, and he needs to continue to do that because he's got more in the tank.
And it's interesting, he contributed significantly off the bench going 0 for 1, yet D'Angelo was 5 of 12. He did fill the box score, and he contributed significantly off the bench. So talk a little bit about the bench play and how much that helped you tonight.
D'Angelo's had a really nice conference season where he's really gotten the flow. Now, he made some big plays, Cal Poly, and showed some spurts, but has really gotten comfortable. And he's one that it's no surprise to me that he's coming around and playing really well right now. I mean, he's a guy that put up 50,000 shots in the summer. Like, he lives in the gym. He's always, one of the first 2 or 3 guys in the gym, one of the last guys to leave the gym. He's always knocking on my door asking me, Coach, I want to sit down with you and watch video. Like, tell me what I need to do better. And guess what? When you're that engaged and improving in the game, you're going to get better. You're going to contribute, and you're going to, you're going to fill up the stat line. And honestly, D'Angelo had just an okay first half. Okay, in my opinion. And I haven't watched the video, but not as good as I thought, but second half came out and really, really had better movement with the ball, was more engaged on the defensive end, and at the end of the day had a really nice outing for himself and for the team.
What can a half of basketball like the one we just saw in the second half do for you guys closing out the regular season and heading into the tournament?
Well, I mean, it does. You can win an ugly game. I thought it was ugly in terms of how we played. I thought the ball got stuck in guys' hands. I didn't like our pace. We walked the ball up the floor. We organized slowly into some play action, and so we ended up having late shot clock, some guys just having to make some plays. So we got to get better there. But it's good when you can win some ugly games. It's nice that, literally down this stretch, Max has been just absolutely unbelievable, shooting unbelievable percentages. And it's a good game for Max, but I expect him, what he's done the last 10 games. He's going to shoot 54% from 3, and so it's nice when other guys can step up and fill the voids. And you got Joe Reed and Brent on the bench down the stretch in foul trouble, and we go small, and our guys can tough it out and rebound the basketball. That's really good, and it builds a lot of confidence. It's good for guys, but it's one game, and people have been baiting me into hyping up this game all week long. It's one day at a time. We're trying to get better today than we were yesterday. We had a nice win. I told our guys, you go down and shower up. You can enjoy the win through the ice bath as soon as you walk out of the locker room. Flush it. We're rebooting. It's on to the next day. Now we're locked into Omaha and the next day. And we're not worried about what's happening down the stretch. It's one day at a time. And, that stuff will all work its way out.
And Jon, what are things that you do towards the ends of seasons when you're coaching that are different? Or what are things you have to do differently as you come to this point in the season?
Well, we haven't had contact with our guys in probably a month. We haven't played contact with them in a month. Really since before the South Dakota State game, just taking care of our guys' bodies. And so we've really shrunk practice time down. Not necessarily time with them, which I'm sure they'd love to probably hear. They'd have less time with me, but we're watching more video, doing more video clips, that sort of thing. But less time, and a lot of time in the training room, and we're pounding fluids. We're locking in on what we call being a pro, eating well, taking care of your bodies, because you see the minutes we're playing. It's a grind on these guys, and so, and that's a tribute to how tough they are. The fact that we're sitting here, 2 weeks from the end of the season, they're still playing at this level and so consistently with those heavy minutes. But we're going to continue to focus on taking care of our bodies and doing a ton of video.
To have peak energy level.
Yeah, unfortunately, we probably won't have the peak energy that we had, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But everybody else is at the same place. We just got to take care of our guys and do the best we can with that, and we'll see where that goes.
Coach, you briefly mentioned Omaha. Last time you guys went to overtime, what do you want to shore up and see differently from your group in this upcoming matchup?
Honestly, I got to sit down and watch video. I was locked in on South Dakota State. I watched the game after the game 3 weeks ago, so I know that they're, you got Patterson, who's as explosive of a scorer as there is in the league, and we got to be really good with our ball screen D. And then they play at an unbelievably fast pace. Whether they'll do that on the road, probably. And you got to be. We talk a lot about transitions, next play mentality, because those guys, they can be down 15, and then 6 minutes later they're up 12. And that's kind of who they are. And they got us last year, and on senior night, you know, and so those guys, our guys have short memories. They remember that. And so it was a game that we had control of, and then it got a little bit ugly and some loose balls they pressed, you know, and we made some immature plays with the ball, and all of a sudden the flow kind of went the other direction. So, you know, we'll prep our guys on that. But, I mean, it's a tough game. Every game in this league. I mean, Omaha, IUPUI, Western Illinois that we got left, like every one of them, it's an absolutely bear of a game.
John, does this win mean a little bit more considering what was on the line and who you played?
I mean, you know, it's obviously we take pride anytime you can beat South Dakota State, who's, you know, been at the top of our league, you know, since I've been here. And I think Scott Nagy is a phenomenal coach. So yeah, we take a lot of pride in beating them. But you know, honestly, this year where it is, like every win, like it's tough, and you appreciate every win. So you know, I don't know if that totally answers your question, but you know, today it's the best one of the day.